What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my miniverse. If you've been with us for a while, you might remember our cereal box rooms, where we would make a doll space inside of a cereal box. I don't have a lot of cereal boxes these days. Well, not human-sized ones. But I do have doll boxes, which is made of pretty much the same thing, and we know it's going to be tall enough for the dolls. And it already has the clear plastic for a window. After we recently turned a doll box into a bed, in our Y2K Scream video, I want to try to transform another doll box into something else. This box is about 3 inches wide, so I cut down the middle to open the box up and add a little extra on the sides. We're going to need more paperboard or chipboard. If you don't have sheets on hand, you can also harvest it from another box. I'm going to sketch a window frame. I'm dividing up the space and trying to make a few arches. Using an X-Acto knife, I cut out the openings and trim around it as needed so it can fit in this space. I'm going to take note of how far my window is from the bend, and for me, it's a 1/2 inch to the outer edge. I cut another piece of paperboard that I'm going to glue onto this side past the bend. So again, we need to place the window on top and cut out the windows again. Bring over the first one we made. Let's trim off the excess, then glue it on top. I took the leftover and cut out an inner edge to get another window frame that we can glue around the edge. But before we do, let's cut those scraps of paperboard into little rounded stone shapes, then glue them on, going around the window, and I covered the side as well. Now let's glue on our second frame. Let's add some lines of hot glue going all the way around the edge, trying to be neat. Not sure if that was a good idea, but we'll see how it goes. In the box, we do have another side, so I cut another piece of paperboard the same size, extending past the box a little so both sides will be even. Let's add our little paper stones, but covering all of this is going to take a minute. So, what if we draw a large rectangle at the bottom for maybe a fireplace? I have a paper tube that we can probably put on the sides. The paper tube wasn't long enough to make 2 whole columns, so I cut it in half. I glue them on. Let's add a few layers of paperboard, trying to create a little detail. I add a few strips going down the columns, then place our little stones around it. Above the fireplace, let's glue some pieces of paperboard going straight out to create a ledge. I added another one right here. All right, now we can totally leave it here, but I want to add a little something extra. So let's get some silicone molds. I'm going to fill them with hot glue, allow it to cool, then peel it from the mold to make a few embellishments for our scene. I like using hot glue because it cools pretty quickly, so it doesn't take that long to get a couple of pieces. Then we can glue them onto our scene for a little more detail. Let's take a little tacky glue and a sponge and use it to add a little bit of texture. I covered everything except for the inside of the fireplace. Then I paint everything black, including all the hot glue, and let's paint the center of our box as well. Once everything's dry, let's dry brush it with a little gray or whatever color you like. Maybe throw in a little light brown just to bring out all those details and texture from the glue. I make the top of each stone just a little brighter, and I make sure that the center of the fireplace stays black. Let's go back to our doll box. I want it to be able to open a little wider than just a corner room. So I'm going to trim off the bottom and the top tabs. Then let's glue in our walls on the sides of the bend, making sure our window is over the clear plastic. Since I removed the bottom of the box, I should finish the bottom of the fireplace. So I cut and painted a few scraps to just glue straight across. And we can add a picture of a fire for a little glow. I want the center to stay flexible, so let's add ribbon or fabric to look like curtains. I fold over and glue down one side of the ribbon, then glue it into the box, avoiding the bend. Then glue some to make tubes, then glue them on to look like folds in the curtain to make a little castle backdrop that we can stand up. Just gotta lay down a wood grain paper for the floor, and we've got a nice little backdrop to check out some dolls. I thought this space was giving a little bit of a Beauty and the Beast vibe. So let's check out this I Love Belle Illy Forever doll. Priced around $30, we get a doll with 10 plus pieces that we can mix and match. These dolls are by Jakks Pacific, so the plastic ring is still a thing. But wait, there's more. I also finally got the Hocus Pocus doll, which feels very appropriate for this room, giving us more fashion that we can mix and match. Out of the box, the I Love Belle doll has blue eyes, a reddish lip color. Her hair is brown with lighter brown highlights. It's wavy and soft to the touch, however, it might need a little detangling. The front is pulled up and she has a plastic bow hair clip that is reusable. She wears gold-colored earrings that are the letter B and are removable. She has painted edges, wears a sky blue shrug, I do like the fabric, over a white halter top with ribbon that ties behind the neck and a red ribbon rose. It says Belle in the front in gold foil lettering. The shrug and the halter top are two separate pieces, and the halter top actually velcros behind the neck. She wears a gathered skirt with elastic at the waist and a singed edge at the bottom. She wears red plastic shoes and carries a tote bag that says the best teacup is chipped, which is kinda cute. She comes with a blue plastic ring that I could personally do without. And she has a second outfit with large red rose sunglasses, a rose necklace, a book purse, which we do have a tutorial for, a yellow top with roses, puff sleeves, and ruffles around the neck. There are faux drawstrings as well, and I did find this a little challenging to get onto the doll. For me, it was a little tight around the upper arm. She has denim shorts that are rolled at the bottom, gathered a little bit around the waist, and has faux pockets in the front, with a little decal of Chip. And she wears a pair of tall lace-up brown boots. This doll is articulated with movement at the head. Since she's by Jakks and not the Disney store, she does have painted eyes. She can move at the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist. I don't know if you could see that, but there you go. Hip and knee, as well as the ankle. The I Love Hocus Pocus doll has long red curly hair. It's really soft, but again, might need a little detangling. The top is pulled back. She has a center part and a purple headband with stars and moons. Her earrings also have stars and moons and are removable. The main reason I wanted this doll is for what the description calls a spiderweb duster. It's sheer, it's a burgundy color, and it has little rings at the ends of the sleeves so it can stay on the hand. They're made out of elastic. I think this is a super cute piece for the season. She has green eyes, a pinkish lip color, a green tank top with ribbon straps that says "Gather round, sisters." It's a separate piece and velcros in the back. She wears denim jeans with belt loops, a plastic belt with a gold painted buckle. The jeans have printed spider webs, and they flare at the bottom. She wears tan shoes that are really cute, comes with a gold colored necklace, where we can see a witch on a broom on the moon. She has a plastic bag that says Hocus Pocus. I do like all the little painted details, and it does open. And she has a second look with a dark gray t-shirt with rolled sleeves that says I put a spell on you, and a purple plaid skirt with little cats, raw edge at the bottom, printed lacing, and gold ribbons. We get a cat purse to go with it, which I love, and dark brown lace-up boots that are staying on a Barbie. Because you know we had to see, does the fit? This outfit was super easy to get on a classic Barbie. Even though Illy Forever dolls have larger feet than a Barbie and the top of these boots are kinda large, I will totally be using them with my Barbies. Oh yeah, and here's the Hocus Pocus dolls ring. Here's the first outfit on a Barbie. The jeans are a little loose, so they're sitting low on the waist, but it's like early 2000s, so I'm good with it. Giving a Charmed or Smallville kind of vibe. With Belle's second outfit, again, the sleeves were a little tricky, but for the most part, I think it totally works with Barbies. And this is just my experience, and yours could be different. Here is the other I Love Belle look. The shrug does take a little bit of patience to get on, but is doable. I'm personally not in love with the halter top, but it fits. The skirt is an easy fit. It does sit a little high, but she totally looks ready to explore this castle and find a great place to read a book. This backdrop can totally work for a princess vibe or a modern witch. And the sides fold in so we can easily store it on a shelf, where all we will see is Disney Descendants: The Rise of Red. Thank you for joining us while we made a doll room in a doll box. And for another Does the Fit? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram and YouTube at MyFroggyStuff and Bella of MyFroggyStuff on Instagram. And we will see you next time.